I have a hilarious. Actually, it's not that funny.
I was going to say, why are you holding out if you have this hilarious anecdote?
You ever dealt with tire chains? Tyler, you've already heard the story. You have?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Were you scared? Were you intimidated?
I was terrified because I was driving my sister. My sister had a long-term gig in Lake Tahoe. Besides the fact that I fell in love with one of the dancers in her show named Olga from Russia, and I bought a Russia to English dictionary, English to Russian dictionary to write her a love note. And besides that, going up the mountain in my dad's van, it started snowing a lot, and not only did I have to put on chains, but I had to buy them too from a dude on the side of the road. And
what'd you pay?
It was freezing, not that much, $60 or $70. It was freezing, and my hands were frozen. And you know how you have to lay them out and then drive up over them and then pull it around and put those bungees on.
You're supposed to drape them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm an expert now.
Well, I paid a guy to take them off.
That's the easiest part. Actually, I should not say that. Because I went up to National Park, Sequoia National Forest, where Stanley got his tick.
Oh.
He got a tick. Had to pull him off.
It's still in there.
No, it's not.
The head is still in there.
No, it's not.
But
I did a lot of research last night. Not in him.
You guys want to hear something really gross?
Mm-hmm.
I got bit on the back by a mosquito a couple nights ago, and I didn't feel the actual bite, but I of course I took it out on Miranda. I'm like, I got bit by a mosquito. It's your fault. And I turn on the light, and I see it on the wall, and I hit it. And what can only be described as an explosion of my blood came out of it, all straight up the wall. It was really repulsive.
That's awesome. It's like you jizzed your own blood.
I put it back in. Don't ask how.
Do you think back in the 60s and 70s, Canadians said far out?
Far out?
Wow, that's really far out, man.
Get my boot.
Do you think they did?
I don't know what Canadians did in the 70s.
Do you think they called that guy from Dukes of Hazzard Cooter?
You're out. So anyways, I was going up the mountain, and I was very nervous, and I was in the back of my head, I was terrified of the chains.
When was this happening?
This is Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, recently?
Yeah, it was like
holy shitballs.
A week ago today. And
which car? Yours?
Yeah, my car. So I find out that sure enough, you need to have chains if you want to go into the park. So I went and I rented some chains, $25, and there was the last pair that the guy had. And I get up there, and I'm like, well, no. First, I'm like, how do you put them on? He's like, there'll be plenty of people up there that'll help you. I'm like, what, like rangers? He's like, no, just people. I'm like, Thanksgiving Day, there's going to be people up there just putting on chains? He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, all right. So I go up there. I see the signs. It says last place to put on chains before you go any further. You must put on chains. So my heart is like coming out of my fucking
chest. It's not a good feeling.
So I pull off, and I'm waiting for these people to come running over and help me. There's no one helping.
Were there even people around?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people putting it on their own chains. I was kind of trying to watch them, but I pulled mine out of the box. Mine were very different than theirs. Mine looked like Pee-wee was about to lock up his bike.
Were yours rubber?
No. Mine were chain like links.
Yeah, mine were too.
Everyone else had like these wire cords.
Yeah.
They looked awesome.
They're new. Those are newer.
Cool. Mine were like old school. It looked like I was trying to lock my car.
You had the same kind I had, which were literally chains, and then I saw these other ones someone else had, which were cables.
So I follow the directions, drape them over, drive forward a little bit, lock them up in the back, lock them up in the front, drive a little bit more. When I drove a little bit more, it sounded like
it was whacking the bottom of your car.
It sounded like robots raping one another.
Yes,
it was a lot of metal on metal screeching.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Everyone to that point, no one had given a shit about me sitting there struggling. At that point, everyone, all the granola fucks, turned around and looked at me. Actually, a lot of Indians up there, which is ironic because you know what? 300 years ago, 350. Tyler, you can weigh in here because you're a Blackfoot, so you say.
Yep.
Hey, how much do you wish when you put those chains on that you had to rent a car?
Totally. We kicked all the. Columbus comes here, and he thinks he's hitting India, but he's not. He's hitting America. Or he's hitting what it was Native Americans' land at the time, and he sees them and he thinks he's in India, so he says, "You're Indians. You're an Indian, and we will call you Indians," which we continue to do. Native Americans people still call them Indians, right? Now here we are.
They call themselves Indians, though.
Hey,
because the white man called them.
Speak for us.
350 years later, actual Indians fucking run all the hotels up there,
real quick.
all the liquor stores.
I just poured Jack Daniels in here.
You just took a huge shot.
I know. God.
This is not becoming the drinking show. So you go up there now, Mike.
I meant to sip it, and I just threw the whole entire thing back. I'm going to be hammered in like 10 minutes.
Don't tell me the story. I already heard it, Anderson.
And it's like,
tell it to Mike.
Christopher Columbus was like prophetic because now Indians from actual India are here.
Yes.
He's actually
In a
listed
place.
as one of the founders of 7-Eleven. If you look really
He
closely,
should be. You know what's sad about this show is that's the line of the night.
If you look really closely.
It's the line of the night.
So you got, how was the trip though?
still
no,
got
I'm still going on this chain fucking story, right?
It's a good story, actually.
So
I'll be the judge of that.
I drive and they all look, and I realize there's no way that these they're not put on right. Or you know what it is? I talk to my son Jillian's telling
Real
me.
quick, can I ask you, did you have an option of 4-wheel drive or chains, or was it chains?
Yeah, it's 4-wheel driver chains.
Yeah.
But I had
That's
my.
why you should rent a Subaru Outback or
I'm not
something when you
renting
go up there.
shit, dude. I'm going up there because it's cheap, and I wanted to go to that park because I'm collecting the parks like Pokemon because I'm a fucking OCD freak. So I take the chains off. I'm all pissed. Jillian and Three Dog. That's what I call my three dogs when they're together. I call them Three Dog from Human Centipede.
Did you get that picture of the human centipede I sent you?
No, I haven't opened that email yet. So
Well, you should.
I'm pissed, and I'm like, you know what? They're the right size for the tire, but they're the wrong size for the cars because cars are more compact now. There's not enough room to wheel well, and it's raping my calipers and my brakes. So I unhook it and I drive forward a little bit, and then I go to unhook it some more, and then I can't, and it's just frozen salt. And I realize that they've come off. I didn't unhook the inside, so now they're completely wrapped around the inside of the
Of the
tire.
axle or something?
Like on the calipers. So I have to. After about 20 minutes of no one helping me, an Indian man pulled up, and he got out and played really loud Indian music and did a little dance and was going, "Yeah,
Really?
yes, totally." While
God, I wish you had a flip camera or something to capture that.
His son was putting on the tire chains, and he was enjoying life. And then he comes over and tells me, "No, I'm doing it wrong because I had the car up on a jack."
Is there any way that was all a dream?
I had my car up on a jack because Mike, I had to take off both fucking tires. I had to put my car on a jack, and
Where was Jillian?
she's sitting in the car with Three Dog.
Warm?
Oh, warm as could be, yeah. Telling me I'm doing it wrong while I'm doing it too.
Wait, your jack can lift up your entire back end?
No, my front end. Why am I putting the chains on the front and the back?
Your
Put 'em on
car's
the
rear
front.
drive.
Would you shut up?
Your car's rear drive, though.
Let me get to that part.
Shouldn't put them on the front,
How do you know my car's rear drive?
because I know what that car is.
Why does everyone know about my car but me? Anyways, flash forward. I get them off. I take the tires off. The day's done. The day's shot. It's now like 2:30.
You put the chains on the front tires.
No, I took them off though, and I took the tires off to get the goddamn chains off.
Hey, what the hell?
That was a brownout. Don't worry. The lights went dim for a
Oh my
second.
God.
Mike freaks out about everything. So we go home, and now the day's shot. And we didn't get to see the park, and we got to see a bear though. I'll tell you
Yeah?
that story later off air. It lunged at me. I got a picture of it while it was lunging at me, and it was terrifying. Jillian said that I turned white and was sweating.
I will freak out if I ever see a bear.
We saw a bear, a wild bear, and it was right there.
Even at the zoo, I cower.
So the next day, I turn those back in. I say, look, dude, these are the wrong size. He was cool. You were in front of my money. I went and I bought the wire kind. I'm like, fuck this.
How much?
I'm gonna $75. The Indian guy tried to rip me off and sell them to me for $100 because he said they were new. And I'm like, dude,
Dot or
they're all
feather?
dirty.
He wants payback.
I'm like, I'm from LA. Everyone tries to screw each other in LA.
You should tell him you know Tyler, and he'll probably go, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa."
Wrong
whoa,
kind of
whoa."
Indian.
So he says, he was total dick. And then once I told him I was from LA and everyone
Hey, don't
tried to-
accidentally leave that in
I'm
here.
not
by the
going
way.
to, dude. Jesus Christ, you're so disinterested in my goddamn story.
No, I'm.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I have no focus on anything.
No, you never do. It's a wonder that you.
So what happened?
Mike's lack of ability to follow is actually hindering my ability to follow.
So what? So what
I
happened?
know the story.
So you put the first of all.
I paid a local yokel $10 to
Stinky
show
Dinky.
me how
Have
to
you
put 'em on.
fixed it?
Hey, I'll use that one Sunday. And went up there, and now I'm in charge. He's like, don't stop where everyone stops because that's where the signs are. He's like, you don't want to drive with these things on until you're in snow.
Absolutely.
So just keep driving.
Yeah, you're gonna ruin stuff if you do.
So now I'm like an expert. I'm racing up the mountain. I own my fucking chains now. I just blow past. I see all these people putting on chains. I'm thinking, they're idiots. They don't even know what they're doing, right? I'm like the expert now. I'm like the chain champion. I keep going. Then all of a sudden, a little bit of snow comes. So I pull off. There's a lady in front
you
of me.
should have
She's trying to put her
out and
chains.
got that Fleetwood Mac CD that has a song, "The Chain" on it. We're pretty good.
I don't know that song. I get out of the car and I help this woman. I'm actually helping her put her chains on, and I tap her car like this. Good to go, miss. She takes off. She's feeling good about herself. I put my chains on. They look awesome. We turn around
This
the
would have been a
corner.
good video if you would have shot all
I
this.
was so excited. My hands were grease monkey. I was like a working man. I felt
Nice.
like I felt like a fucking man. Turn around the corner, my car starts to go sideways. My car completely goes sideways. Now I'm like on a blind corner. My car is perpendicular. My back tires are rotating wildly. My front tires are just doing nothing. And it's at that point that I realized I was real wheel drive, which is very hard to say. Real wheel drive. And I'm like, holy fuck, I am a dumb motherfucker. So I had to get out of the car. And actually, I had to like push my car on ice against the bank. And
that's hilarious. Isn't it weird how dangerous driving up mountain roads in the snow is?
And then I was thinking, why don't people die up here? And then I was thinking, wait, holy fuck, people
Yeah.
die up here all the
All
time.
the
And you
time.
always hear about people dying in national parks.
All
and then the fear
time.
really kicked in.
I remember-
we heard a fucking bear, like as loud as can be, like echoing through the entire forest while I was putting
What does a
the
bear
things on.
sound like?
Like Disney. Disney got it right. You know when you watch a Disney movie and there's a bear sound effect?
That's going to freak me out if I ever see a bear. But here's that same trip we were in Tahoe. I remember my sister had to go to her rehearsal, and I was going to go run down to a restaurant to get some food or something. And by then I had taken the chains off because it was a nice sunny day, but the roads were still icy. And I'm going down the hill from the condo she was staying at, and I hit the brakes at a red light and didn't slow down one bit. And I went right through a red I hit the brakes.
But you
and
sledded through it, right?
Yeah, I hit the brakes and the tires just locked up, and I went through it about 25, 30 miles an hour all the way through to the intersection, and I had a minimum little heart attack. I'm like, I could have easily been just creamed.
I almost hit 4 or 5 Germans because they were just walking in the middle of the road, and I was hitting the brakes, and I realized, holy shit, I can't stop. So we're going like 10 miles
Scary.
an hour, but I'm like honking. I'm like, hey guys, I'm yelling at the car. I'm not being an asshole. I just can't stop.
How was the
And they
trip
scattered.
otherwise?
It was really, really cool. I mean, we got to, and the chains story is still not quite over. All right. So we go through everything. There's like 4 or 5 feet of snow. I've never driven in snow like that before. Giant sequoias. We saw the biggest sequoia in the world, biggest living thing in the world.
Did you guys
which
bring
is
the proper
General
clothing
Sherman.
and stuff?
I had some gloves on and jeans. We were a little bit chilly, but it's not like we went hiking. So, like the most we walked out of the car was probably like a half a mile.
Where'd you stay?
This little hotel that accepted dogs.
Was it nice?
Yeah, Three Rivers. Three Rivers is a cute little town. I want to go back in the summer. And
Have
go
you
to
been to
Cave.
Yosemite?
Oh yeah, Yosemite's
Oh
the
yeah,
most breathtaking.
I knew
thing
you did. I knew you
I've
did.
ever
Sorry.
seen. But
Yeah, I've never been.
so we're leaving. We're done. And I feel like finally, that was such a bitch with the chains, but now I own these fuckers because I've always.
So you're
I
gonna
love
make
just
a couple more
driving
mountain
everywhere.
trips?
I love driving everywhere, but I'm always scared every time there's snow. Like I went up to Mount Hood and
I'm scared
Oregon,
of snow. I'm
turned
scared
around.
of strangers. I'm scared of bears, snakes. I don't want a fucking horny toad jumping up in my hood.
ticks. So we're driving down, and now we're to the spot where like
I don't want
the
that
snow's gone.
gas that kills you, like in that horrible M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That was fictional.
Shyamalan.
I pull off to the side of the road, and I take off the chains off the one
Shyamalan.
tire.
He's Indian.
Take the chains off the other tire, take off the one hook, the inside hook. I didn't do it tight enough, so it had gone underneath the tire and it fused, so it was fucking stuck on there. I have to
In
continue
the
driving.
tread, or
No, it's like the piece that connects was fused together because they went underneath the tire and it bent it down. Like, so now I can't get the fucking chain off. I go to a park ranger, ask him for wire cutters, nothing. I'm like, what do you suggest I do? He says, you just have to go back into town with the chain on. So I drove 25, 30 miles an hour for about 15, 20 miles with people honking behind me, speeding around me. I felt like Homer Simpson in that
Yeah,
episode where he went to New York to pick up his car with a boot.
I get both sides of the story. You know, if you're the park ranger, you probably have people fucking asking you for help.
He was
all
a nice
day.
guy, and I watched.
No,
he
but I mean,
actually-
if
he
you're a
took everything
ranger,
out and
it's
looked.
not your problem to deal with people who don't know how to put their chains on. But he probably gets asked 25, 30,
He's a
40 times
ranger,
a day.
and he was hanging out in
I know.
in
His
the
concern
spot where you
his
put the
concern
chains
is making
on.
sure a bear doesn't get his foot caught in a crevasse.
No, actually, he was playing parking attendant and just like yelling at people to continue. Not enough room here to stop. Put on your chains. Keep moving. There's a spot over here now. Come park over here.
Remember that dude when we were at Scotty's Castle in Death Valley? That park ranger that came up to us.
He was pissed because I had
and
a
he had
dog.
but he had his hand on his taser, like just in case something happened.
Yeah.
Like he approached us with the taser unsnapped, the holster with his hand on it, like ready to pull it out and shock us.
We were a motley crew though, kind of. I was wearing
I don't think we were adults,
I was
and we were
wearing
all white.
my. We looked like L.A. Queens.
White people don't cause
We spent a
problems.
lot of time on this story.
I know,
It's a long
gosh.
story.
Yeah, people in the chat room are not very happy.
Really?
Name two of them.
Yeah.
They can fuck off.
What do they want to talk
Huh.
about?
I'm sorry about my chain story. It was really.
No, I
upsetting
like
to
that
me.
story. But you could have
Get
cut
off my
to the
chest.
chase with
Well, he
the.
couldn't cut to the chase because you talked every 4 seconds.
You could have said, "Oh my God, I had to put chains on. It was horrible. It's freezing cold. I have no idea what I'm doing. Guess what? I put them on the wrong tires."
No, that wasn't half the story.
Wah, wah, wah. We saw a bear. Dogs. Hotel.